Are you a convicted felon or you were just charged?
No, I'm convicted felon. Yeah.
What led to this?
It was a fraudulent charge. I had hacked into a Regions bank and we was moving money. And I got caught up with that.
How'd you get caught?
Paper trail. We was rushing, didn't really clean up our traces, and it led to us getting caught.
How do you actually get apprehended?
The feds came to my job, my place of work, and yeah, they pulled up on me. My manager called me, told me to come in, and he kind of set me up. He told me to come in to like re-sync my meter. And I got there. I tried to play it off till after lunch. I got there, and feds pulled up on me.
What did you think when you saw the feds come?
I thought run. I tried to run, but you know I had big construction boots on. It didn't work too well.
Care to share what the job was that you were at the time?
I won't say the company, but I was a cable technician.
When you saw the feds pull up, you knew exactly what it was for, or did your heart sink?
Nah, I more or less knew.
Did you feel like this was coming? Did you sense this was coming at all, or it caught you by surprise?
Nah, it caught me by total surprise. We thought we got away. I thought I got away from it. But apparently not. Cause they didn't come and arrest me until months after. So I'm assuming it was a deep investigation into it.
So at that moment when the feds show up, they don't arrest you?
No, they arrested me.
Oh, they arrested you.
But that wasn't until months after the situation had happened.
I understand now. Okay. Yeah. So you spend time in jail at some point?
Yeah. But I paid for a lawyer. The only time I spent in jail was just really the 2 months just waiting to get bond. They had me as a flight risk because I was out of state. I didn't have a same state ID. So that's why they had me as a flight risk. So it took that long to get a bond approved and to get out. I was paying lawyers for all that.
So at first, when you get locked up, no bond?
Oh yeah, it was none of that. They denied it right away.
And what county jail were you at?
Madison County.
What city? What state?
Alabama.
And do you actually end up doing prison time?
Nah, I got away. Paying good lawyers, you know. First time offender, getting caught for something. I played, you know, asked the judge for mercy because I had a newborn daughter on the way, so I had God looking out for me.
So was it a plea deal you actually receive and accept?
Yeah, I took my plea deal.
And do they offer this deal one time, or is it several deals and then you would finally accept one?
It was, they offered it to me twice. They finally got me to accept the lower charge.
So what was the first offer? First, before you even get the offer, what were you facing?
I was facing 33 years in prison.
That was the max sentence?
Yeah, per charge. And I had 3 charges, so I was looking at about 9 to 9 years.
What was the first offer you were given?
The first offer was what they want, 1 year in prison, and then parole after that. My second offer, I got a new lawyer, because at first I had a public defender, then I paid money. Just went ahead, spent that money, got a lawyer, and they was able to give me 2 years probation.
And what was the final charge?
Fraudulent wire transfers.
But just one charge of it, or 3 lesser charges of it?
No, 1 charge, yeah.
And for chronological purposes, how long did you have the public defender for? And then how long did you have the paid attorney for?
I had him for about a month. We had to kick him. Because like I said, I was trying to get bond, so he wasn't really helping with that.
So he didn't even help. So you fire him before the bond situation?
Yeah.
And how do you find the attorney that you ended up helping you with
I
this?
had my mom's helping me. She's helping me back from Illinois, so, calling her on the phone, she's making phone calls. And then my partners that was at, my daughter's godfather, he helped me. So they was working together on that side.
And they find you this attorney. And care to share what attorney you used?
Shit, I don't even remember his name, honestly.
Care to share how much you spent on the attorney?
About 20 grand, give or take.
And I'm sifting through these questions that I want to ask you. Did you make the right decision?
In the long run, looking back, no. But I don't regret nothing because, everything in life is a learning experience, so I don't think I ever took any L's. Everything's a lesson in the end, at the very least. But looking back, it wasn't worth it because as far as anything to show, I really, after lawyer fees, restitutions, and then time wasted, it wasn't worth it.
What was the restitution?
Shit, I had to pay back everything they had caught me with, and then on top of the lawyer fees, court fines. Yeah.
Care to share the full amount there with everything included?
It's $36,752. Yeah.
So that's lawyer fees, restitution fees, and court fees.
Yeah.
$36,000.
Yeah.
Biggest lesson you learned out of this whole ordeal?
Quick money usually ain't the best. Be patient.
If you could turn back the hands of time, would you have done anything different?
I want to say yeah, but again, everything, made me who I am today, so I can't really say I regret anything.
The second plea deal you were offered that you accepted, did you make the right decision doing that?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anytime you can get away from, having to serve time,
Did your attorney say, we could fight this and take it to trial and beat it?
Nah, that was shot. Yeah, he was honest with me, and that's what I appreciated about him. He was honest. He was like, yo, it's not looking good, If we can get this and we can get away with probation, go ahead and take that.
And was there a thought on, before you even get to the second plea, right? The first plea deal you were offered doing 1 year in prison. What did the attorney say about that? Did he say, we might be able to get a second plea, or maybe you should just take this and that's it?
No, he suggested first that this is a good offer considering what I'm facing. But I told him I got a daughter, and I tried to play on their heartstrings. And that's really what it was, I think, was my daughter being on the way is what saved me.
And care to share your race, ethnicity, nationality?
I'm black and white.
Care to share the judge, their race, their ethnicity, their nationality in this?
It was a white dude. It was a white man.
Do you think race had any outcome on this?
Initially, I felt that way because they was trying to hit me hard, and it was at a time where I feel like fraud was at an all-time high. I mean, it's still at an all-time high, but I feel like that was really when they started cracking down on it. So, yeah, I think they were trying to hit me hard with it.
You had co-defendants on this?
No.
Care to share what age you were when you received the felony conviction?
I was 24.
Your first F. Only F.
Yeah, honestly.
How has this impacted your life and the way you live?
Oh shit! I had to learn how to really hustle, you know, and find other ways to make legal money because by that point, jobs was out. That jobs was shot. That shit wasn't coming back. You know, it's still hard if I wanted to go find a 9 to 5. Thank God I found a way, you know. I'm blessed now to where I don't need a 9 to 5. I can make money. I'm self-employed to where, you know, everything's running. But at first, before I was able to figure that part out, you know, with the baby on the way, you know, all that, it was stressful trying to figure it out. So,
Care to share what you do for self-employment?
clothing line, you see the brand, it's the clothing line, music, you know, y'all can check out my music streaming everywhere.
What's the name of the clothing line? Where can people get this?
Other Denim Gear, ODG. You can get it at www.odgent.com.
When it came to employment, did you attempt before the self-employment situation was figured out?
Yeah. You know, because I had a baby on the way, so I had to find a way to make some kind of secured income, you know, a way to stay out of the streets, to stay away from hustling and the fraud stuff, because, shit, that didn't get me nowhere, so with her coming, that was it.
What jobs do you try to attempt to get after you received the felony?
I did everything. I done did from roofing to plumbing, you know, different odd jobs, working in the kitchen, you know, all different stuff.
When it came to the job applications, were you honest about the felony?
Sometimes. You know, it just depends on the demographic of who the employee is, you know.
Explain.
You got to really know who you're working with and who you're working for. I mean, some people gonna really look into it, some ain't. Some you can be honest with, some you got to kind of stretch the truth a little bit.
Whenever you stretched the truth in your own words, did it work?
Sometimes. You know, sometimes they come back like, hey, we seen this, what's going on with that? And they have to tell them, you know. They call you on, you gotta be honest, you can't keep lying.
Were you able to get a job knowing that the felony was seen?
Yeah, I had a few. The worst part was, you know, being honest, and then you get the interview, and then they tell you, we can't give you the job because of this felony. You know, that's a waste of everybody's time, you know, so I feel like Josh shouldn't do that, but.
You were actually told that?
Yeah.
Can't get this job because of this felony.
Yeah, it's real.
But some would hire you with your current record.
Yeah.
Care to share who or what kind of jobs would hire you with your current record? So maybe people with a felony record watching this, it may provide some insight.
Yeah, definitely. Temp services, they a lot of those are good for you. You know, they can hook you up with jobs. If not, it's definitely factory work. Cable companies, a lot of them will work with you. And then, you know, the food industry. I always hire.
Aside from employment, what other ways have you been affected by this F on your record?
See, that about it. Because, you know, we were still making money and still doing what we had to do.
So I do want to ask you some other things that people get affected with a felony on their record, and I want to see if it was ever an issue for you. Has it ever been an issue for higher education, student loans, or financial aid? I don't know if that's something you've ever attempted, but just curious there.
Nah, I had already did my school run by the time I had committed my felony.
How far did you get with your education?
I got my associates, and then I said, this shit ain't for me. You know, I had bigger dreams. I want a bigger lifestyle, so. No, nothing against people that go to school. You know, education is very important, but what they didn't teach us was how you get that education. You know, they didn't emphasize on how you get that education. And that's really what's important, not, you know, just the education, but how you get it.
Explain.
Like college, you know, is great for some people, but for some people, internships is great. For some people, you know, self-employment, just entrepreneur, you know, getting out there and learning yourself.
And care to share what school you went to for the associates?
I had started at Eastfield in Texas, but then I didn't get all my classes registered. I ended up having to transfer back to the Midwest. I went to Rock Valley, a little community college though.
And why didn't those credits transfer? Was it because it was out of state?
Nah, it was a money issue. It was a financial aid issue.
It was resolved?
Yeah.
Care to share what the issue was?
It was just financial aid. We couldn't afford it. You know, they wouldn't like taxes and stuff like that.
Explain.
Shit, what else I'm supposed to say?
I didn't know if there was any other explanation.
No, I don't think it is. No, just financial aid issues. Couldn't get registered for classes in time. Missing deadlines. So
When you said taxes, I didn't know if that meant somebody didn't fall in a certain tax bracket or something of that nature is what I was wondering.
no.
For financial aid, like maybe did they make too much money for you to qualify for financial aid?
I'm assuming I wasn't too much involved in that part.
Has a felony on your record been an issue for housing?
Yeah.
What have you experienced there?
Shit, they even look at that shit when you try to get loans for to buy a house. You know, they look at that shit, but it's definitely when renting, oh yeah, it's harder to get into places. Like I've had to use fake socials before.
Did it work?
Yeah, but see, they knew. They knew. And they just charged me that they was dirty anyway, they knew. Not like the apartment was dirty, they was clean, they was a nice apartment, but the way they worked, feel me?
Explain.
Like the way they worked, they wouldn't buy the book, so to speak. So they just charged a little extra money, you know, money talks, so. Yeah, you pay somebody to look the other way.
Do they ever catch on and say, like, do they physically tell you?
I had one year, they told me, they said, look, we know this ain't your social bit, baby, boo. You know, look, we're gonna charge you an extra this for the deposit. And that's the game you play, you know.
What about when it comes to, in regards to having a felony conviction, your voting rights?
Well, I got to vote this year, you know, and that's very important. Everybody should have their voice heard. I believe they had passed a law making it so all felons could vote this year in August, as long as you're not currently incarcerated. But I think they worked on something with that as well. I think I had read something about that, you know, that they're working on that or something about it. But no, that never really was a problem for me, I guess.
And you're referring to the 2020 election.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the voting rights for a felon, is that a nationwide federal law or is that a state law where you're at?
I believe that was a federal law they passed, if I'm not mistaken.
Being that you are a convicted felon, another item or experience that people deal with is the losing of the right to own a firearm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't have no gun.
That's affected you?
Nah.
Now, I explained different facets people are affected with a felony conviction. Anything else I didn't bring up you'd like to mention for people watching, wanting to know what it feels like to live with a felony conviction? Or was that the bulk of it that we just went through?
Shit, once you're done with your getting off papers and everything, you know, once you get off papers, that shit, it's like normal life, you know. You learn how to maneuver with it, you know, so it's just like anything else in life, any life-changing experience.
Did you know the magnitude of what it would be like before you received your first F?
Oh, hell no. No. Because, I mean, we see, you know, people get them. They still move how they want to move, you know. And if it wasn't for my daughter, I'd probably still be doing that dumbass shit. But because of her, I got to move different, you know.
Have you talked about this in your music? The felony
Oh
charge?
yeah, all the time, all the time. I talked about cracking cars, printing checks, fucking around with the plastic till they had me bent. Yeah.
And you've talked about the felony and the felony conviction or what the felony has done in your life and things of that nature in your music as well?
Yeah. I got a song actually dropping tonight at midnight.
On your birthday?
Yeah. Called Breaking Bad, and they talk a little bit about it as well.
And your birthday's on November 9th.
Yeah.
Now, what about expungement? Is this something you're able to get expunged? Is this something you've looked into?
Yeah, I looked into it. And the way the laws are set up, they said once I finish my probation, that after 6 months of being, cleared and discharged, after 6 month period, then I can file for expungement.
And you're looking forward to doing that?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Now, what did the entire felony experience teach you thus far? What have you learned from this, if anything?
Be patient. All fast money ain't good for you. And always, double check your work.